Hi, I'm Tracy Fragoli, and I'm here in this video to tell you about why I want to make videos, why I want to have a YouTube channel, and what I want my channel to be about. All within the context of art, because I'm an artist. I've been an artist all my life in a sort of a realistic style since '98. I started doing a lot more plein air painting, and then I got into portraits and was doing all of that, but very representational. And I loved that, and I felt that that was authentically what I was supposed to be doing. But after a time, I needed something else. I got into a lot of photography, portrait photography. I still did painting, and then COVID hit. So things took a turn for me. I think they did for a lot of artists. And I had to go through a transformation with my art. There was a lot of things that didn't feel right. And I thought, why does someone need another pretty picture? Now, it might add, bring solace to their lives, but really, what am I contributing? I really had to dig deep into my soul and think about, listen, what do I want the remaining years of my life with my art to be about? And so my thought is with this channel is that I would like to really double down on authenticity as an artist, because it's so rewarding, and it's so good for you to really get in touch with your core deep your deep sense of you. And I don't know how to explain it, because I'm not a spiritual person, but if I were to say there was anything that is the closest thing to prayer, it would be art making. And that's the one thing I cannot deny. I cannot deny that something funky happens when you make art. It's good for you. It's healing. We know scientifically it's good for you. And I want you to do it. I want you to do it and do it and do it until you find out who you are. And because oh my gosh, you're in relationship with the art, and you're in relationship with the materials, and you're in relationship with the art making process, and something magical happens. And what you want to call that beyond that is totally up to you. I think everyone has their own sense of what art making is for them. I think that I would like to have my channel be, pro authenticity and anti AI slop. There's nothing that kills my soul more than to look at an AI generated art image. It's actually like soul sucking and almost nauseating. I have to avoid as much as possible like places where AI slop would be showing up. I know there's some artists that use it in their work. I think it's like a dead soul sucking thing, and it also steals real artists' art. There's even like in AI art, you'll see sometimes signatures of the artists because it's stolen. It's literally pieces stolen from other people's art. Let me get off my AI slop soapbox just to say I want my channel to be about real artists, because we're going to matter more than ever. I really, 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 really believe that. Real artists doing real work with the real hands are going to matter more than ever before, because things are going to get funky. All right, so I want my channel to be pro environment, natural world, animals. I believe in all that stuff. I love the natural world. I love animals. I have a huge amount of compassion for animals. And so I try to, I don't live up to those values, in my choices, in my behaviors, and now in my art. I want to give voice to animals. The piece back there is actually, it's a dancer that I worked with. The character is Bagheera, and he's a panther. And so I made that for him, and I made a bunch of animal related costumes for their performances. And I said, come into my studio. I want to photograph you guys. I want to see if we can give voice with your expressions to these animals, because I want to hear what they have to say. Sounds weird, but literally, I feel like it's an exercise in empathy, and that because you're putting yourself in the animal's shoes. What would the animal care about? What would the animal want to say if he could talk in human terms, not just in human voice, but with the facial expressions, etc., that we could understand. So that's kind of that Animal Voices series, and you'll be seeing other ones of those. I'm very excited about that. And there's nothing more juicing. I don't know, that's probably the wrong word. It juices me up to actually hit on it, to be like, this is what I've been spending 2.5 years trying to get to. This is the point that I've been trying to get to. And it's like a jolt to feel like, oh yeah, this is saying what I want it to say. So it's not just art making for art making, which is fine and great, but for me, I want it to say what I want it to say, because art making is also a form of communication. So anyway, that's the whole pro-environment, natural world, animal thing. I just want to say up front, I am not a climate change denier. I've looked at all the science. If you are, I'm sorry. And if that turns you off, I'm sorry. But yeah, so there we are. Next thing I want my channel to be about, I want it to be pro-love and compassion. I think the world is becoming so cruel. I can't recognize it anymore. I'm almost 60 years old, and while I thought I saw cruelty before, I never saw it in so much pervasive, brazen, oh my gosh. Just we're almost like we're disconnected from who we are as human beings. We're empathic, we're compassionate, we need each other, and some kind of weird disconnect is happening, and I don't want my channel to be about that. I want my channel to put out love. I think that loving kindness and compassion, no judgment. I have no judgment of any other person's choices or beliefs or whatever. The choices that I make are just choices I make for myself to make myself feel better. That sounds bad, but it's true. And the choices that you make, you have to make for yourself. And I'm not going to judge you for anything, because I judge my own self. And I feel like, you know what? I think I need to stop judging myself. We're all part of this system. And a lot of the system is broken. So here we are. And I think we have to live with that and forgive ourselves for being part of a broken system and just make the best choices we can. So related to that, I want to share choices that I was able to make through a lot of research and whatnot, with the art materials that I use. So there's really exciting new choices for artists who are compassionate about the environment, who are compassionate about animals, but who still want their art materials to perform, because you want to get that pop, you want to get that jolt, right? It has to do what you need it to do. And there's so many new options out there that weren't out there even probably 2 years ago or 3 years ago. So I want to do a lot of that, sharing that stuff with you and my own experience with it. I'm a true believer on some of these products. Like for instance, this is all just, you know, the beginning abstract experimentation that I do before I get to the realism part that I put over it with oil. But this is acrylic. But what's exciting, you can see my eyes get really big, is that this is all plant-based acrylic, archival plant-based acrylic paint. So I plan to do a whole deep dive into that, because nobody has that I can see. I don't think that there's a channel that's really explored that stuff. And I think there's a lot of other people that care about that. I really do. And also that care about their health. So this is a good answer to that. And I think that sharing that is an act of love, and it's an act of compassion, because I know that other artists and other people in general, you don't have to even think of yourself as an artist. Maybe you want to make art because you've always wanted to make art and you decide you want to do it, but maybe you have health issues or whatever it is. There's different alternatives. But there's also a dizzying array of art supplies out there. I've got 20, 30 years of experience with art materials. So I want to share that with you. I also want to share my own journey of getting to the point where I feel like my art is saying what my heart wants to say, or my soul. So I want to share that with you because I want that to happen for you too. And I know it can. I know it can. I literally know it can. All you have to do is do it, and well, follow along with me. We'll get into it. A thing that I want to say, I'm beginning. I'm just the beginner at the YouTube. I'm not a beginner at art, but I am the beginner at YouTube. And what I want to say is I'm addicted to YouTube myself. So I admit that for true. And I've learned so much from YouTube, and I'm very grateful. And I always like, and I definitely subscribe if I'm getting some benefit. I would hope you would like and subscribe, because what's really exciting about a beginning YouTuber, you subscribe and you comment, you know they're going to comment back, and you're going to start having a dialogue. And it's like more fun to actually interact with someone. But if like their channel gets really big, a lot of times you make a comment, but it's never going to be seen or whatever. So stick with me, because I'm one of those that are probably going to be commenting back. And so we'll be able to, like, form a little community. People who want to make authentic art, people who want to be loving and kind, people who care about the natural world. I think we can do it. But the other thing about a new YouTuber is they're just going to be real. They're going to make mistakes, da 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 da. So it's not AI slop. And it's not overproduced, because people are we're sick of it. We're sick of everything. I'm personally sick. That's one of the reasons why I'm not interested in photography anymore, because we used to do all kinds of like sort of glamorous stuff and dress up stuff and makeup and all that stuff. I'm just not interested in that anymore. I'm interested in being real. I'm almost 60 years old, and I do have a video that talks about how excited I am about almost being 60 years old. And there's nothing more intoxicating than accepting yourself. And so hopefully that'll rub off on you a little bit. Like and subscribe. Thanks very much for getting to the end of this video.
Let me call you sweetheart. I'm in love.